Hello, welcome to Inside the Sherman Playhouse. We're here once again on the set of 1984, which is going to be playing through May 3rd of 2015. And we have here Noel Desiato, who is playing a wonderful role in it. And I thought I'd sit down with Noel and talk a little bit about her past in the theater biz. So, Noel, why don't we start from your first interest in doing this art?
Oh, gee. It's very difficult to know when it did begin. I moved to New York in the early 70s, and I can't remember who introduced me to Stella Adler, but it must have been a friend of some sort, and I worked with her for a couple of years. It wasn't something, I didn't know what I wanted to do at that time, at that age. I was in my early 20s, and New York City was a nice place to be for me. And, but I was very fortunate to have met her. In many ways, so that's where it began.
Okay, so you did her, you were involved in her studio.
Yes, and
Okay.
then it was on, I know I emailed my friend Ron Burroughs, who still owes, there's a Stella Adler West Coast and East Coast, but I was trying to think, was the studio then, was it on 56th Street? It was right there in 7th Avenue and 56th or 55th Street. It was a small little room, no bigger than this stage, really. So, and Stella would have her red throne, and she was pretty, yeah.
Tell us about her training.
Well, she worked with Stanislavski. I think she was one of the, she was a brilliant woman, and if you're, it was very nice to be in her presence when you really didn't know what you were doing. So she steered you in directions that were, for a young person that was a sponge, not knowing who they were or what they were doing, it was super, especially her script interpretation classes. And so, who are some of the people that you worked with that maybe you can harken back to that were remarkable to work with in that studio? Oh, gee. Oh, my goodness. My class, Mari Scott, Ron Burroughs, oh gosh, Laura Leva, still great, very good friends of mine. They live on the West Coast. So
cool. So from there,
the summer that there was a break, I rented a theater down on Bond Street in the Bowery. And it was great because there was a jazz club, and then there was this wonderful theater. It was a thin theater, it was like a row with a brick wall and a staircase in it, and homeless people would live in the back, and they used to take the props. I go, where's my, I was doing Hello from Bertha. So I would rent that for the summer, and other groups would come in, Pocket Full of Posies, and it was wonderful. And the music would play, and it was great. So you could rent a theater for, I can't remember what I paid, but or what we all paid to do it for the summer. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Did you manage to have a family at the time, or did you?
Oh no. I don't have any children. No, I don't. My family is from Maine, so that's where my folks lived. And my sister was in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Great. And you met your husband later, or?
Which one? I'm sorry. No, I actually moved to New York City from a very, very, very dear, close friend from childhood. And we moved from Maine. He was at Bowdoin College, and we went to Palm Beach and worked at the Breakers. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't really have any direction or any confidence or anything. So when I went to New York, he and I married, went to Maine and got married. We'd known each other since the 7th grade, and then I went on my own. I don't know what drove me to, but I just needed to do what I needed to do.
Sometimes we have people on this that did have family. We talk about them trying to juggle, both things going on.
No, it was tough enough for me to just deal with myself. I don't think that wouldn't have been good. No.
Now you were close to Michael Moriarty?
Yeah, I had good friends. They asked me to come up and take some classes there. Tony Newfield, Charlie Whiteside, who's gone now, Laura Leva. So it was great, and Michael was a very nice man, and there were some wonderful actors. I felt it was a little intimidating. They did a lot of Shakespeare, which I was terrified of. And, so it was very nice. The location was at St. John the Divine, which was great. So.
What was the name of that?
Potter's Field.
Potter's Field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, were you involved in any productions?
We would do showcasings. I did Cassius, which was fun. It was all women playing that. That was fun. So.
That's great.
Yeah.
So we can fast forward a little bit, coming to Connecticut. When did that happen, and how did that happen?
In 1988, my friend at the time, my man that I was living with, moved to Sherman. I'd never heard of Sherman, so I moved to Sherman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. And did you work in the city at all at that time, or?
I'd go back and forth. Either if I was shooting a commercial or something, I'd go back and forth.
Tell us about your commercial experience.
Oh, I did what was it, an English tea commercial at some point. I wasn't actually very good at commercials. I don't know. I so.
Right. Any independent films or?
Yes, I did a lot for NYU, Columbia. Man's Best Friend we did for HBO. That was great, and I did quite a few student films.
Mm-hmm.
Milos Forman. There was a Russian director at Columbia. I remember they asked. Did a film called Zoe, and I remember Milos helping him pick the actors, so he picked me. I don't know where the movie is, but
wow.
And I did a horror film with Richard Haynes called The Slasher. You can still see that online. I get killed on the toilet. That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
So we just type in with Google slasher.
Yes, you can see that. Yes. Awesome. I actually look at it now and I go, oh wow, I didn't look so bad then. And I did a few. And, yeah.
So you're one of many that have done film work and stage work, and I've asked a few people that I've interviewed the major differences. Can you tell us either what you prefer or how different it is on camera and off?
It's so different. It's so different. I mean, the stage you have to be, it's much bigger. I think it's easier to come down than to go up.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's also difficult. I think it's hard because you can be too big on camera, and I think you have to watch that. So
yeah.
I just finished something with the Skeptics of the Universe. I played Ock's mom. That was kind of fun.
And what was that for?
Steve Novella and Courtney, his wife. Courtney Novella directed it, and Steve. It's really something. The Skeptics. It's the society they love. So we were a cave. I was a cave mom. So I had a really nice costume.
Excellent. Where'd they film that?
At a wonderful park here in Connecticut. And forgive me, I can't remember the name of it. It was in the woods.
Was it in a town around here, or?
Maybe 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, I can't remember the name of the name.
Okay.
I'm terrible at that. Yeah. I went the day before to discover where it was. So
you were a cave woman?
Yes, I was. I was a cave mom.
Wow. Did you have lines?
Oh, yes, a few. And I had to scream. I hollered and stuff. I was very...
Oh, that's
She
excellent.
was a strong woman.
So you started doing stuff around here, and you were
Yes.
really well known for Tea at 5. How did that come about?
That was wonderful because Bill Hughes, I think it was his put that bug in our ears. He mentioned there was a script.
Former artistic director of TheaterWorks.
TheaterWorks, yes.
Yeah.
And anyway, he found the script, and I remember sitting down at TheaterWorks, and I think it was Joe Russo, Bill, Jane Farnell, and I read it. And I read it, and I took it home, and we decided to do it. Asking Matthew Walkley, sorry, that's Matthew Lombardo, if we could do this.
Mm-hmm.
So we did it.
And you really identified.
started slowly.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And it was great about how it toured.
It was. It was very nice. Yes, that was very nice.
I think you came here to the Playhouse.
Yes, we did. Here, Newtown, Tri-Arts,
Tri-Arts. And then
Southbury.
Was there a Heritage Village was involved in that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then other women took their shows there, which was really nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I missed it, but my wife Stacy Lee has a copy of it.
TFI?
On TFI on
yes.
DVD. I have to take a look at
Oh,
that.
yes.
Yeah. And so what were some other memorable experiences that you had in these local theaters?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, well, here, I did, in 1991, was Terra Nova with wonderful Carrie. She was a brilliant woman. And, of course, with Kevin. He was also in Terra Nova, but then Kevin directed Cuckoo's Nest in 1992. I looked all those dates up before I came.
So Nurse Ratched
Yes.
was a great time.
Oh, it
for
was
you.
wonderful. It
Yeah.
was wonderful, and the cast was wonderful. Kevin has a gift for casting.
Right. And Kevin's directing our 1984 right now, and we're lucky to have him back. Any other?
Oh, Theater Works. Oh, my goodness. Laramie Project was great, and I played the cop. And Medea, I enjoyed. Holiday Memories. Those, the plays I've done, there aren't that many, but I've enjoyed them very, very much.
Right. And Seascape.
And Seascape, yes.
We were just talking about
Yes. Yeah, boy, acting's not easy. My nose is running. Sorry.
So,
it always runs.
That's okay.
Oh, good.
So what do you find the differences, similarities, compare and contrast on the Broadway, off-Broadway stage, the films, and these community theaters? Do you find there's huge differences, or
No.
No.
If you can, it's just do the work and adjust. Just do the work.
Yeah.
Do the work. It's not easy. I think acting. I don't know. It's a tough, very tough art, I believe.
Right.
Because a piece of you. It's not for you. You don't do it for yourself. I don't, anyway. So it's, people say, "Oh, you do it must make you so happy." I don't know what that means. I really don't know. Moments make one happy. I don't know as an overall. I don't understand that. It makes me happy if you can give things away and you get it back. That's nice.
Right.
That's nice.
Which is basically the definition of humility, which is very, very precious in actors that I work with.
Yeah.
And it's the giving back. It's the
Yes.
reciprocal nature
Yes.
of it.
Yes.
And so,
In my DNA, I don't have that. I don't think I'll ever feel really good about myself. It doesn't exist in my. And I'm glad about that.
yeah, that works.
It works for me.
That works.
Yeah.
Well, we hope to see you in the future on our stage.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the character you're playing now.
Oh, gee whiz. She's the salt of the earth, really. And it was very important to bring to her that people liked her. And, you could see the rough edges and the good parts, and you could kind of see her history.
Right.
which
Can
is
you
so-
describe the characters?
Describe her. Well, she has a lot of love, very little rage, which is nice.
Yeah. She takes in Winston.
Yes.
And
She knows her time is limited. She's a survivor. They. But as long as she can remember, nobody can take that away. Nobody can take away what you have inside. They can't. So, and she's aware of that.
Did you do any work on your accent for that, or
Oh, my
did it
goodness.
come organically?
Yes, I went to that coach every day. That would have been really good. I think I'd have been slammed. I said that's the. One thing with me, I did the best I could, and with my main accent, that would creep in. Sometimes Katharine Hepburn would creep in.
Yeah.
And Kevin was very good about that, was letting me know. And the wonderful people in the cast, which I adore, they're so fantastic, they would help me, but they were very good about, when they would come up to me, they would do it. You know, Noel. So, and I handled
Certain
it really
words,
well.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like, thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
You just asked me a question. I wanted to answer that. Shoot. I can't remember what it was. You just said something.
About the character? Or?
Yes. Oh, and I wanted to be very careful. The accent, really, I wasn't so worried about that as I wanted to get her. And so many times I would work on her without the accent, because sometimes that could get in the way of character development. So I had to be careful of that.
Right. So a little bit about your life in Sherman. You have horses.
I do. I have a horse named Johnny and a horse named Willie. When my mother died in '91, I bought a horse named Johnny. Well, I got him in Virginia, and I used to do the hunters with him, and he was a show. I did things with him. It was fun. But I still have him. He's like 26, and I have an Appaloosa Willie who I ride in the parades here in Sherman.
Oh, very nice.
So,
very nice.
Yeah, horses have always been a very close part of me. I think as a child, because I could, I understood them. They understood me. So. And I was always very close with animals. So. I think they were my salvation.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a role or a show that you might be interested in that you haven't done, or that you missed an opportunity to do in your past?
People have asked me that, and I have a very hard time.
Yeah.
I have a very hard time with that. I really can't say, gee, there's a role I'd like to do. I'm very, very, very grateful for the roles I've done.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just amazing. But to say, oh, gee, I wish I did have that in me. I don't say, oh, I want to go and play this. I'm embarrassed to say that, because I'm afraid that I would, what's that four-letter word? Because I want to do it. I think I'll be great. No, I just don't know. So no, I would rather say, gee, would you come and audition for this? And then I'll see. I'll see if I want to do it. So.
Right. This is a family type of interview. So.
Oh, good, but I still won't say that word. But I love that word. It's a good word.
Yeah, most of us do around here.
It's a very good word. Yeah. It's very good.
Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And you can see Noel in a couple more chances for 1984 coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
So thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
And we will see you guys on the next episode of Inside the Sherman Playhouse. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.